my name is Cassandra with Stitch Witch Creations. I am going to be showing you guys all the inventory I'm going to be bringing this weekend to Alexandria River Fete, the May 2nd and 3rd. I'm probably not going to go over all the patterns I used, primarily because I have used so many different patterns. But if you are interested in any of the patterns that I used, feel free to comment below and I will gladly send you the link to where I got the pattern. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to start off with my different silent fidgets and move on from there. So the first ones I'm going to show, these guys are fresh off the hook. What I did is I took all my scrap yarn, blanket weight yarn, and I made a bunch of these little mushroom guys. I've got 5 of these. I got this little red one. I have this green one, this rainbow and gray one, another green one, this kind of brown and orange one, and this pink one. And they all pop up and down. The next one I'm going to show is a newer one. I've only made these one other time beforehand. Are these cute little lily pad frogs. They all pop up and down. I have 3 of these. I got a blue, a pink, and a yellow. I also have these witch cat mushrooms. I've got a blue and a purple. They also pop up and down. And this guy's been with us for a while. I got this pink, blue, and purple toadstool. I have leftover from Easter, but I think he's appropriate anytime. I have this little bunny in a carrot. He is really stinking cute. And I also have, I also have a baby version of those mushrooms as well. I have 1 of him left. I also have, tried and true for me, I have my little jellyfish. Their heads also pop up and down as well. And also I have it where their frill glows in the dark. I've got this rainbow with gray, this like cotton candy one with a pink frill, and this blue and orange one also. Another newer one for me is these little mermaids. I've got 3 little girls here. I've got a purple one and pops in and out. A pink one who pops in and out. And a blue one who also pops in and out. And all of these, I have different textures of yarn worked in for an extra sensory feel. Ignore the cat in the background. These are another newer guy for me. I've got 4 of them. They're worry worms, as in like a dragon. And they're just something for you to fidget with and squish with. And I also sewed on the eyes instead of use safety eyes, so that way babies could use them too. I was thinking it would help reminding them of their umbilical cord from when they were in the womb. So I got a green one, a pink one, a pink and blue one, and a black speckly one. And then these are ones that I've been kind of playing with, still trying to get used to making. But I also have, these are done by All From Jade, these little bug critters. I've got 3 of them. And these ones just kind of twist and twirl and you can fidget with them. I've got an ant, a butterfly, and a caterpillar. And all of them I've also incorporated different textures on as well. I really am starting to like these patterns. I'm probably going to be making them a little bit more often as time goes on. So give me a second while I get the next group together. For the next batch I have one little octopus left. This is actually my own pattern. I kind of freehand it. I've got these guys, my spiders, who I really like. I've got 3 of them. I like how this one kind of looks like it's smiling with the way the variegation worked. I've got this bright neon one with the giant eyes. I got this purple one. It's got purples and blues and pinks going through it. And then I got this kind of plain Jane gray one with those beautiful blue glitter eyes. I've also got some bats. I've got a purple and gray one. He's one of my bigger ones. I know it looks black, but it's just a really dark, almost charcoal gray. I've got this neon and black one. And then I've got this guy who I kind of have dubbed the Beetlejuice bat. He's got a sparkly velvet with a variegated purple, black, and green acrylic yarn working with him. And I just really loved how he turned out. I'm surprised he's still with us. But will probably find his forever home tomorrow. Tomorrow for you guys. And then my next group I've got here, I've got a few cauldrons left. Oh, let me move his price tag. And these also glow in the dark. And then I have 2 little ghosts here. This one doesn't glow in the dark. I was kind of playing around with this newer yarn. Well, at the time, newer yarn for me. But this one does glow in the dark. They kind of remind me of like the Pac-Man ghost. I think I like the bigger eyes on them better than the little eyes, but these are something that I like making, so you'll see more variations of them. And then also kind of keeping within the magical theme that I've got going on here, I've got my keychains. I've got this glow-in-the-dark potion bottles. I've got a pink one, a purple one, a white one, and another purple one. And the way I do these, you got the glow-in-the-dark yarn, which is like in a cotton, I think. And then we've got an acrylic for the glass bottle. And then we also have velvet for the cork. So it's a mobile fidget as well. And then I have one little Pac-Man style ghost left as well. She's pink and also glows in the dark. And it's with a glow-in-the-dark chenille, so she's kind of soft and fuzzy. And it gives a really cool extra glow to it with the way it looks on the in the dark. I still need to figure out how to show y'all the glow-in-the-dark features. And then I also have, because it's the only other keychain I have this little heart as well. And then my next guys this guy's been with me for a while. This pattern came from, I can't remember how exactly it's worded, but it's got Imkins in the title. And it's kind of set up like a crochet Build-A-Bear. You pick out the body, you pick out the accessories and all that stuff. I've got another one as well. Yeah, I will show you in a little bit. But this is my little wizard guy. I took actually the same acrylic yarn that was in the bat that I showed you. I have running throughout his whole body. And then his hat, I took velvet yarn and acrylic yarn and worked it together as well. And he's precious. He's got these ginormous purple glitter eyes as well. And he's got a lot of detail. I kind of was using him to use up some of my scrap whites. So some of the whites are a little bit more cream, some are a little bit more pure white, but I think it just kind of adds to him kind of being like this little doll made by some creepy doll maker, and I love it. And then y'all saw last week my wonderful dragon. He was a labor of love, but I honestly did love making him. He was really, really fun to make. And he's got the reptilian glitter eyes. He's got all the details of the spikes and the tails and the wings, and just loved him. And let's not forget about his little toe beans that I worked into the pattern on my own. I've also got a single rainbow frog left. I should have made more big frogs now that I think about it, but I'm probably done making things. I say this now and then tomorrow I'm going to get bored and make something, but we'll see. I've got two little this size dinos left, little baby triceratops. I've got this beautiful chameleon left. I saw this yarn at the store and I instantly thought chameleon. I had a few different variations of it, and he is the last one I have left as well. He's also no-sew pattern. And I also, with his little chameleon mohawk, I did again where I took the velvet and the acrylic and ran it together. And then I have one little sea turtle left. Again, his shell is acrylic and velvet worked together. And then he's got one, I believe this is the Michaels brand yarn here. And this is a type of blanket yarn as well. And he waves. Now I've got some, I actually created this pattern this morning on the fly. These little bitty chickens. And like I've been using this other chicken pattern for my bigger guys that I'm going to show y'all next. I did two of each color I'm showing you, all identical to their twin, but here they are. I've got, for this guy, it's basic blanket yarn for him. He's got an acrylic yarn that I got off a clearance rack at Michael's months ago that I've been using for all my beaks on my chickens now. And his comb, or her comb, is made out of a really nice chenille yarn. So I've got this guy. I've got this pretty speckly black one. I really liked how this one speckled out. I think I want to make a cow in the near future with this yarn as well. And then, of course, I had to do a blue chicken as well. And this one's made with blanket yarn as well. This is actually Joanne's blanket yarn. And it's got that chenille comb as well. And then my bigger chickens. These guys have been with me for about a year now. I've got a rainbow chicken. I worked all the different colors throughout her. And then I've just got your basic white chicken right here. This was actually one of the first ones I used that yarn on for the beak as well. And now we're going into my duckies. I've got a little mallard style and a little yellow duck. I used acrylic yarn for his little feetsies and his beak. And then it's blanket yarn, the Michaels yarn, and then I think this is Joanne's blanket yarn as well. And then this guy is all blanket yarn. And I think they have, yes, they have the glitter eyes as well. Got that guy. I think they both have green eyes. They do have green eyes both. And then we've got my geese. I've got this black speckly one and this more of a cream buff color. And just like with the ducks, I made their feet and their beaks out of acrylic, except for the beak is both acrylic and velvet. And they got these beady little eyes that I think are so freaking adorable. And they were a lot of fun to make. I really wanted to make more, but there's just was not enough hours in the day. And then I got two little bunnies. Again, these guys are kind of left over from Easter, but I figure people like bunnies year round. So we got this pretty multicolor here, like pastel rainbow. And we got this like almost calico print yarn here as well. Then we've got my three little pigs. I can't hold them all up at once like I did the others. But we got this guy with a solid pink. Again, I think this is also Michael's yarn. This is a no-sew pattern as well, which I really, really like. I liked his little curly cute tail. I used blanket yarn for his snout. He's got little nubbins for feet. And I used the glitter eyes as well. Got that one. I've got this variegated, which has more of a softer feel to it. Again, blanket yarn for the snout, glitter eyes, and he's so freaking cute. And then I've got this sparkly pink yarn, and the same yarn I used on that previous pig, I used on his snout, and he's really pretty. I wonder if the yes, the sparkles do show up very well. I do have plans for variations on my pigs, but those are going to be a little bit later when I've got a little bit more time. I'm moving into my cows now. I've got this one, same yarn that I used on the bunny, I used on this cow. He kind of reminds me of a chocolate chip cookie, and I think he's really sticking cute. I used acrylic yarn for his hooves, horns, and his hooves. And then I used this really pretty speckly yarn for his snout and his ears. Gives him a cute little personality there. I will say the pattern said it was no-sew. And no, it was low-sew. But I personally wouldn't consider it low-sew, but I was able to turn it into more of a low-sew pattern. But the same pattern I used for that cow, I used for this cow. It's my little Highland cow. I really, really enjoyed making this. This yarn was a little bit better to work with than I thought it would be. I got it off of Facebook Marketplace, but the origin of this yarn was from Michael's just because I recognized the brand. But I also kind of freehanded his little poof here that the Highland cows are well known for. And she is adorable. Or he. He's got a chenille yarn for his ears as well. And then this guy's been with me for a while. He's a biggin. And this is my jumbo cow. I used different of the bigger Michael's yarn for him, and he has been with us for a while, but he is one of my pricier items for basically because of his size. He used multiple skeins of yarn. And then this guy is my own pattern. I made all on my own. Like, I looked at a few reference photos of an actual possum and made it, but I absolutely love him. He's gone through a few evolutions of his patterning. I am planning on writing the pattern down and figuring out how to post it, but I just haven't gotten there yet. But he's got his little tail with the Michael's yarn, Then I got 2 different blanket yarns for his body, and then his ears are also this speckly black yarn from Michaels. And then my favorite thing about my possums, they got wiggle eyes. He has wiggle eyes, which just kind of adds to his derpiness, and I love it. And then I also have my, 3 of these guys left, little mushroom guys. And we have my flower imkin, my little sunflower imkin. When I was first making these guys, we were ironically watching 9 by Tim Burton at the same time because my kids really like it, and they kept calling these little 9 dolls. And I can't disagree with them. I mean, they definitely look like a Tim Burton creation, and that's what really makes me love them. So he's got his green body, his brown head. I used acrylic yarn for his little petals, and then I took this fuzzy yarn in acrylic for like where the seeds are on the sunflower. And then, speaking of sunflower, I've got this guy. He is in a pot. This is one of the first ones I did with wiring to this degree. He's got wire going all the way through his stem, and each petal was sewn on individually along with his leaves. I had to make the base all by itself, and then I had to make his body, and this was about 4 days worth of work. But I really like how he turned out. He is so cute. I didn't have quite enough orange or yellow to do his petals, so I just combined the 2 to make it more this variegated type deal. And then we're going to move into my throw pillows that I got. I've got this sunflower throw pillow that I showed y'all last week. He was really fun to make. I used Michael's yarn and Barnett yarn for the center and the Michael's yarn on the petals. And then I did a mushroom throw as well. I've got some more plans for making some more tonight while we do our thing tonight. And then I also made this little car. I wasn't too sure where to categorize him. I only have one. I need to spend some more time getting practice onto this guy. And then I am getting into my littles. These little guys, I just kind of keep, are things that I try to have really low priced so that way kids can easily have something. So I've got 1, 2, 3 little leggy frogs like this. This is my own freehand pattern, but there are like several different variations of this guy. I've got some whales. I got 3 of them. I've had these whales for a while. I was having a hard time keeping them in stock, and of course when I overproduce them, nobody wants them anymore. So here we are, still with them. I also have this random gummy bear. I was just trying around with that. I have 2, 3, 4, 4 baby dinos. I have some a lot less little mushrooms than I thought I did. Oh yeah, I sold out of my little mushrooms at my last event with them. I got 2 little mushrooms. And then we've got my various little 8-legged creatures. Oh, no, I already showed him. I've got 2 octopi. And which is, again, just a little free-handed character. And then I've got a couple little spiders. Again, the spider is just the variation on the octopus. And I thought I had another fish. Ah, there they are. And then I've got 2 little fish. These are a newer one for me to make. And I just haven't had time to make more like I originally wanted. And actually, ironically enough, this guy I ran out of the blue for. Like, I have absolutely no more of this shade of blue. So I had to improvise and add extra yellow. That's it of these guys. Now I have working it. Now I am done with all my stuffed animals. I'm going to get into my other things. I guess you can say my more functional items, my more wearable items. I've got 1, 2, 3 different big mouth bass beer koozies. So you just put your soda can in there and you go on about your day, and they look like little bass. And they do sit up pretty well, and I did test all of them. Got a few different variations of that. I've also got several of these lanyards that I made myself. They're made out of cotton yarn. And I was trying out a new technique called Tunisian crochet. I wanted to practice the technique with. So I've got to get this purple and blue one. I've got this yellow one. I've got this light blue one. This looks almost like it's hand dyed purple one. I don't think it was hand dyed. That's big twist. I could be mistaken. I've had it for a while. I've got this purpley blue one. It looks purple to me, but it looks blue on camera. To be fair, I am a little colorblind, so take it for what you will. I've got this light purple one. An orange one. And a red, white, and blue one. I've also got several wristlet styles. These guys I've had for a while as well. These are both glow. I have ones that are glow in the dark and ones that are just straight cotton. So this is a regular cotton one. This is a pink glow in the dark. A plain black, a plain orange, a glow in the dark, another glow in the dark, another glow in the dark, a regular one, and some more regulars. These I've actually had for about a year now. So I've got all of those guys done. Let me get them back in their home. Because I try to keep these things organized to make my life a little easier. And then I've also got several scrunchies. Again, these are just kind of my own pattern. I've been making these oh God, for years. Like, this is a scrunchie's one of the first things I made as an adult crocheting. So some of them, like my acrylic based ones, I have 2 in the set. And then like my the fancier looking ones, I've got 1 in the set. And then we've got, as we're getting into more of my hair things, we've got my braiding flowers. So you clip the flower, the big guy, into the hair, and then you can braid your hair around the flower as well. These are a cotton acrylic blend. Both of them. I've got the purple one and a red one here. And like I said, they're also a cotton and acrylic blend. I also have only 1 rose clip. I gotta put him on a tag. And I have a bow that's made out of pink. I didn't notice it was until I went to go use the yarn. The yarn I used for this is actually an organic cotton. And you also have a couple of headbands that are made of 100% cotton as well. I've got 3 of them. I've got this pretty purple one that's really dark. I've got a darker green guy. And this like lighter green guy. And I think that's it with all my hair accessories, because I'm sorry, but I am not going through every single scrunchie I have. So you get to come see me on Friday and Saturday. So then you'll be able to see what all scrunchies I have that way, as I put these guys all back up in their home. Next thing I've got are my chokers. These are all free-handed Egyptian cotton, natural stone, seashells, and pearls chokers. So this one is Dalmatian Jasper in a light blue. Honestly, it's really hard to show on camera all the details that are incorporated. But this one's got this pretty lantern on it. Most of these chokers, beyond the stone that I use and the pendant that I use, don't really have much of a plan. I just kind of go with what feels right at the time I'm making them. I've got a captain's wheel and a seashells on this pretty brown with the little scallop going. This one's really pretty. This one I was just really trying to test to see how I could do. I was trying to work with this like netting deal with the lace, but it's got turquoise, if I remember right. Yes, turquoise, and this cute little octopus. And that guy was really fun. When you put him on, the netting throughout here really spreads out well. I've got this next one's got golden sandstone with a sun. It's in the middle. If it will focus, there we go. And this really pretty earthy green. And that golden sandstone's got like little gold flecks going through it. And it's really, really pretty. I've also got, I believe this was fluorite. Yeah, fluorite. And a brighter green. And I really try to get the different colors of fluorite incorporated into this one. And this was another one I was really working on, kind of the loopiness of it. And when you put it on, it lays out really, really nice. I've got this pretty mauve, I think it's called, with Indian agate and a cute little bat. I was really testing myself with the different lace techniques on this one. So I got all the little spokes going through it to where it drops down to the bat, along with the stones going throughout the entire choker on this one. And you can't really tell on the camera with that one, but it's got like this really pretty like purplish, pinkish look to it. This one I really, really liked. It's hematite on, I think the color was called Poppy Red. And it really does do it justice. And it's got this really pretty heart pendant. And the hematites worked out throughout almost the whole thing. I was kind of going for more of a traditional goth look on this one. And I think I really nailed how it looks out. I liked how the scalloping turned out on it, where it all came into a sharp point. And I'd been doing where I put the hematite in the middle of the scallop. I mean, the stones in the middle of the scallop. But this one, I really wanted to put the stones in between each scallop. And I really liked how that turned out. And these are more of my pastel-y ones. This one I made for kind of like a little girl in mind. And it's got cherry quartz and this adorable... Oh, that's backwards. There we go. This adorable golden ballerina in it. See what I mean by having the stones normally in the middle of the scallops? This one I was definitely feeling Bridgerton vibes on. And it's got this beautiful cameo with a rose on it. And it's got amethyst. And I really, really enjoyed doing this one. I liked all the hollow scallops going through it. And this one sits very nicely on the neck as well. These two are actually the first two chokers I made. They're kind of discounted from what I originally priced them as. But I'm okay with it. Like, my skill level on making these has exponentially gone up. And also I'm debating on maybe, if they don't sell at this market, frogging and redoing them. Now that I've got better skills to be able to hold it. So we'll see how I feel though. But this one is actually a hand-dyed Egyptian cotton. And it's got these pink pearls and a seashell going through it. And then this one's the same yarn with purple mica and a pretty little silver fairy. If it would untwist. So we got this beautiful fairy and purple mica stones as well. And these ones have everything going through the whole thing. And is that all of my chokers? Yep. Okay. I'm going to do my flowers next. And then I'll show how many of my water balloons I've got done. So I've done roses, lavender, carnations, and I have one tulip left. So I'm going to show all my roses together. Then I'm going to show my couple of lavenders together because those I have the most of. Then I'll show my tulip and carnations. So I've got this pretty like Americana one. And these all have wire stems, so if they don't quite fit in the vase you want to display them in, you can always just kind of bend the stem so it'll fit better. This is a really dark purple. We've got this one. I love this yarn. It's called Neon Stripe, and I really loved how the colors worked up in here. I've got a pretty pink one. This pretty blue and green variegated yarn. I really liked how that one turned out. This purple, black, and green one. And then I also have this one that's more of like earthy and neon somehow. This one actually does kind of react, and the neon stripe one under a black light, and it kind of glows. It's not glow in the dark though. Then I really enjoyed making my different lavenders. Those were fun to make. So we've got 3 of this like purple yarn that I got at probably a thrift store, or I got it at the Kent House yard sale. But it's really, really cool. It's got this like fuzzy pom-pom thing going through it. I didn't really have much of it left, so this was my favorite way to use it up. And then I've got an Americana one. I've got this like transitioning rainbow color one. I've got a really bright pink one. And another purple, black, and green. I have a lot of this yarn because I really, really liked it. And I got a lot of it because I was making me another outfit with it for myself. And I ended up using a whole lot less than I thought I would. Oh, I also missed this blue and green variegated yarn one as well. And then I have one tulip left. It's pink. I didn't really enjoy doing the tulips as much as I'd hoped I would. That's why there weren't as many of them. And then I've also got these 2 carnations left. And I am going to have it where I usually do the flowers where you buy 5, you get the 6th one free. So basically you can work it up to where you get a whole dozen where you get 2 free. And then we've got a bunch. I am not going to show off every single one of my water balloons, partially because I've got a lot. This was one of the ways I used up a lot of my scrap yarn. Also, for a little bit there, every time I did did a project, I would make one of these guys before making the actual project. So the way these guys work is you get yourself a giant bucket of water or whatever, you throw them all in, they absorb the water like a sponge, and then you throw them at your friends or foes. And what I like about these is afterwards, especially if they're made with the brighter colors like this, you can easily walk through the yard, gather them all back up into your bucket, run them through the washing machine, and it's all done and over with. You don't have to worry about little bits of rubber still out in your yard that the wildlife can then eat and ingest and get sick with. Now, I don't suggest running these over with a lawnmower because then you got the same issue, but I don't think I should have to say that. But they are machine washable. I've got several different colors. Basically, any yarn that I have used over the past year, I would sit there and make at least one balloon with it. And I usually try to sell them in sets of 6. And then these guys, it's not crochet related. Well, it is crochet related, but it's not a crocheted item. Scratch that. I'm going to put that on pause. I want to show you this other item I just came across They are my silk beanies. These are all hand-dyed silk. And I really, really liked them. I've got a purple one with this closer mesh, along with this blue and orange one. And this yarn was called Unicorn, which I don't think have any better way. And then this one's from an indie dyer. I can't remember what her name was on Etsy, but if you guys really want to know, shoot me a message and I will send it. She had a whole bunch of different dyed yarns, like of different natural materials. But this one's really pretty, and I wanted to try a different stitch on this, and I really liked how this turned out, and I think I'm going to make more beanies with this one as well, just to give it a little bit more variety. Now we've got my witch hats. I've got my newest one is this solid blue one, and I really liked how well the glow in the dark for this guy blended right in. And it also kind of got more of a wave to it, but it is wire in there, so you can kind of bend it to how you want. This one I really, really love. It is made with vintage yarn that I got as well at the Kent House. It doesn't show on camera quite as well, but it's got some pinks and browns going through it. By the way, all of this style of hat are made with 100% cotton, with the exception of the glow-in-the-dark yarn. Let's be real, cotton yarn does not glow in the dark. They had to do something to it to make it glow. I'm not that talented to know how they do that. I've got this gray purple ombre like hat, and I used gray glow in the dark on the brim as well. And of course I have to have at least one very traditional black hat as well, and the brim on this, even though it's black, also glows in the dark. And this one is kind of speckly, so it almost looks like you got like stars on your brim. It's really, really cool. And now we're moving into my bigger slouchy witch hats. We've got this purple and gray one as well. It's actually very similar to my hat that I wear to markets, except for my hat's a slightly variation on that pattern. But these ones, I take a strand of acrylic yarn and a strand of cotton yarn and run them together at the same time. So that's how I get that effect. So it makes it a little bit tougher, a little bit softer at the same time. And I've got purple glow in the dark going on the brim for that one. I've got this large brim one, brown one, which honestly gives me more wizard vibe than witch vibe. But again, I've got the brown glow in the dark on here. And this one's kind of like the black one, where it's more of a speckled glow in the dark than a straight up like glow in the dark. And I like how I've got the variations of the brown going throughout, so it kind of ombres as well. And then I really like this bright neon. This is retro stripe yarn that I ran with white cotton, and I used this really bright green yarn for the glow in the dark as well. And then this one, and I just got in more yarn to do some more variations of this one, but the entire hat glows in the dark from the tip to the bottom, even the black that is on here as well. And it's got like this sparkle going through it, and it glows really, really bright. Like I said, I really need to figure out how to show y'all it better. And like I said, all of my hats have a wire going through the brim, so you can easily sit there and kind of customize how it sits on your head better. All right, my next guy I've got are my stitch markers that I've made. So I'm not going to show every single one. I'm probably going to show like 2 or 3 of them. But what we did is I've went through and I put gemstone beads on these little lobster claws so you can use them to mark your stitches if you crochet or you knit. I'm not too sure how stitch markers work with knitting, but I know that knitters use it as well to help mark your stitches and rows. And then each set comes with 3 in the set. I mean 4 in the set. And I've got a variety of these guys as well. So some of them have little bitty beads instead of the bigger ones. And then again, I'm not going to show every single one of these guys. I might. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I have a friend of mine. He does polymer clay work, and I asked him to make me some customized crochet hooks. So he just kind of sits there and does what the clay tells him to do, if that makes sense. He just kind of goes by feel on it. So each one is individually done. He doesn't use any molds. All the sculpting is done by hand, by his own idea and design of whatever seems like the right idea at the time he does it. So some of them are a little bit different. So they all got like a different grip on them. I think most of mine are 5 and 4 millimeters, but this guy's more of a 3 millimeter. And I believe that is it for right now. I've got also 2 pens with the silicone beads that my kids put together, but honestly it's a lot. And he also does some sculpting as well, but I don't know how to describe all of them, and I already know he's not going to want to get on camera to talk about it. But I am going to show this guy that I just saw in here, and I actually have really liked, and I'm surprised he's still around. He's got this little teddy bear with like a flower pot, and look at the detail he does on it. He did all of that by hand. Like I said, no molds, no nothing, just feeling. But like I said, the rest of these guys, they're great. It would take a whole nother hour to go over all of the stuff that he has there. So I did not realize how long I was recording for. I guess my husband can say he told me so, because I was worrying about not having enough stuff. And now that I look at the timestamp on the camera, I know better than that. So River Fete is going to be this weekend, May 2nd and 3rd. On the 2nd, which is Friday, it'll be from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then on Saturday, it's going to be from 10 to 10. So come out, come see us. I hope to see you there. Have fun. Get to wherever you're getting to safely. And I've got to go put price tags on everything and put these all back up. So have a nice day, and I hope to see you at River Fete.